Welcome to Linda's TV show. If it is your first time and you like this channel and the program, please subscribe, put on your notification bell so that you'll be able to know when I upload a new video. I want to appreciate each and every one of you who always tune in to watch my videos anytime I upload. I do not have gold or silver to give to you. May God Almighty bless you all. Please, after watching each of the videos, I want you to leave your comment constructively and judiciously because I do read each of them. So I open up a new YouTube channel where I talk about life in Germany. If you want to know more about Germany, either you want to come here to work, to study, or to live, follow the link. I'm going to leave it down below. You will get all the details that you want. If you want more information from me, you can write your comment in that video. Believe me, I'm going to respond to you.
We are badly educated because of the way we reason. We hate one another because of the way we reason. We are filled with envy, greed, and jealousy because of the way we reason. People allow tribal sentiment to becloud their sense of judgment because of the way we reason. Nigeria is an abomination created by a fellow man, and not by you, O Heavenly Father. And that is why it must come to an end. We are praying that the history that Nigeria and colonialism, even slavery, portends in Africa be brought to a close. We are also praying that all ethnic nationalities bound together in the criminality that Nigeria is will be set free, that all these nations may rejoice in the glory of our Lord and our God. We are praying for Biafra to come, that only the King of Kings and the Lord of Lords, God Almighty in heaven, Elohim, Adonai El Shaddai, may be in the heart of every Biafran. We are praying to see the Satan that is Fulani Janjaweed, British neo-colonialism, the stupidity of a black man, the idiocy of journalists, the cowardice in black people, the evil that they possess be vanquished, and there will be no more death in the land. We are praying, O Heavenly Father, for you to see the lying, conniving, deceitful Igbo politicians and their governors, evil men being used by Fulani Caliphate to destroy your work on this very earth. As they are seeking to destroy your children, O Heavenly Father, may you also destroy them one after the other. Those liars and deceivers who came and said, please, will you stop? We are trying to fix everything. And as soon as we stopped, they went and brought the army and the police to be killing and arresting people, evil, deceiving liars. And oh Heavenly Father, you will punish them and their families one after the other. We are praying to see your mercy demonstrated in the full justification and acquittal of those who are innocent. But to all of them that lie and deceive, all of them that failed to distribute food meant for the poor, may you multiply their punishment, not just on them, but on their children and every generation after that. Their wickedness must not go unpunished. We are praying this morning to see your wrath poured out on all these evil, lying, thieving, and conniving politicians, and indeed any journalist that rises up to support evil. Any tongue that rises up to support evil, O Heavenly Father, you will strike them down and bring shame upon them as you have disgraced the damnable zoological republic. We are praying to see that every knee shall bow before thee and every tongue shall confess as Yeshua himself confessed that there is only one God in heaven, one God Almighty, who every glory belongs to. We are praying to see a new Jerusalem in Africa. We are praying to see a new heaven in Africa, a new earth, and a new creation. And that creation is Biafra. We pray for your abiding love and mercy. We pray above all that you give Nigerian youths the common sense, the fortitude, remove stupidity and criminality from their being. Make them to realize what lies ahead and to understand that this revolution will never come to an end until a just and equitable society has been enthroned. All this we ask in the name above all names. Now and forevermore we pray. He said, this morning we are not going to deviate that much, because it seems to me that once we are confronted with multiple news items requiring us to task our brain not just to understand, but to comprehend and be able to distill, we are found floundering and wandering. This very morning, we remain on a theme that they have perfected. But I must also tell you that before we got to where we are today, I warned you about what is going to happen. You don't embark on a revolution unless you are determined and prepared to see it to its logical conclusion. The reason why I respect South Sudan and why I am not surprised that they are the fastest growing economy in Africa is because of their resoluteness and determination. They fought a war of attrition for 30 years. The only thing before South Sudanese was freedom. Every other thing never mattered to them. The only thing they cared about was to make sure that their people were set free. And they succeeded in doing that. For 30 years, they were fighting. The way that the mind of your average Biafran works, and from the events of the past few days, the way the mind of your average Nigerian youth works, I do not think that people are actually prepared to be free. Perhaps some of you love being ruled by cattle rearers. Maybe some of you love once in a while Fulani will come to places like Nimbo or Agatu and slaughter people. And I am astonished and perplexed as to how some of you actually reason. And I have concluded, I may be wrong and I stand to be corrected, that Radio Biafra and the gospel we preach on Radio Biafra needs to extend to every nook and cranny of the Zoological Republic. You people have been fed on a diet of falsehood and misinformation for very many years. We Biafrans are mentally and intellectually equipped to fight a revolution or to initiate a revolution and be able to sustain it for years. Nigerian youths do not know how to do civil disobedience. I'm sorry to say. They have done very well and we commend them. But they allowed the age-old disease of a black man to afflict them. You left what you were pursuing and started pursuing bags of rice and cartons of Indomie. And once you embarked on that, you lost the rhythm, the momentum, the drive, and determination. The need to sustain your stomach became a priority, and you all lost focus because you are black people. That is why I insult black people every blessed day, that day may change. I warned you that Nasser El-Rufai, the governor of Kaduna State, in conjunction with Katrina Lang and the rest of the Fulani cabal, supported by a whole host, or should I say cast, of Fulani Caliphate apologists in the south, that they have deployed 4.8 billion to bribe media houses. Few of you believed me, but I'm sure many of you did not. I knew that they were going to bribe the editors of every major newspaper in Nigeria. I know that they gave money to BBC and to CNN and to Al Jazeera and to all the rest of them, and they did what they were paid to do. I told you they will bring out the army. They will kill a few people to strike fear into you, and as they are killing you, they are going to politicians from your villages to ask you to calm down, and they will deny it. The world will see it. They will sow seeds of confusion and doubt in you, and you will capitulate because you are black people. That is the way you are. Mentally, you're not tough. Mentally, you're not strong. There has been 2 landmark, spontaneous display of public anger as a result of heightened sense of enlightenment and awareness. One was the Ali must go, for those of you who are old enough, when a Janjaweed Ali was the education minister and he was messing up university education in Nigeria. University undergraduates got together and said that Ali must go. The Fulani and the British said no. And nothing happened. The next one was the death of the icon and pillar of truthful journalism himself, Delegiwa. When Babangida killed Delegiwa, there was also a spontaneous outpouring of grief, of course, at the loss of such a huge figure in journalism. The Nigerian public was appalled. They were revolted at the barbarity and cruelty of that very attack. Nigerians mumbled and grumbled for a few days. They came out. And after a while, the government of Babangida gave money to Ray Ebu of Newswatch, and the whole story died down. The same thing they have done again this time around. And we all could have succeeded. But you abandoned the protest to stand and looking for rice and for food. And you allowed your primitive, age-old ethnic sentiments to creep in. But at least we have learned our lessons. And one of the lessons learned is that, not for me, but for some of you young people from the Middle Belt and from the South, is that, one, the same way you reason in the South is not how your counterparts reason in the North. The core Arewa North, the 13 or 12 Sharia states you have in the North, their orientation is different from yours. Their value system and the way they see their worldview is different from yours. When they are killing you and protesting, or you are protesting legitimately for a concern that adversely affects you, they do not see it. Because to them, Nigeria means something different. To some of the idiots in the South, Nigeria means everybody being together. And what strikes me as shocking and very worrying is that despite the abundance of evidence that the Fulanis are looking out for their own, that Fulanis are intent on depopulating the population of the youth in the south, some of you still do not and will never get it. Last night when I was contemplating and praying, something struck me. And I now begin to believe that, and I prayed and I prayed and I prayed that Chukwu Kikabiyama may have mercy. It seems to me that God in heaven wants to destroy the South. By which I mean Oduduwa and Biafra together. Because considering what happened, if you look at these past weeks with this very nascent revolution and protest, you will see that the protest, apart from Abuja, across the length and breadth of the Middle Belt, it was muted. The reason is that youths of Southern Kaduna, youths from Nasarawa, youths from all those other places in the Middle Belt, they are afraid of Fulani. That was why they did not come out. They are afraid because of years and years and years and years of Fulani subjugation. But in fairness, just came out to protest. And they were also intimidated into submission. If you have not learned anything these past 2 weeks, learn the fact that Fulani people are very, very resilient. They are determined more than all of you, but not more determined than IPOB. We are the only ones that can match them. There are going to be many more killings in your villages. The Fulanis will try to take over your land and they will occupy it. They are now going to enforce their waterways bill. This is something that southern politicians do not understand because they are foolish, they are myopic, they are useless. And how can they all be this stupid at the same time? Why would people like Ohaneze, in trying to prop up Tinubu, started to play the ethnic card that it was IPOB that were destroying the properties of our Yoruba brothers in Lagos, when that is a lie? Before your eyes, all of you, 200 million people, before your eyes, the Koro, you were there when the people were shot. They have used Nigerian newspapers to sow doubts in your mind. Are you sure people were killed at all? All of you are there looking in this COG. May God have mercy on you people. I would not want to be in a country with people that reason the way some of you do. All of you were there. People were killed. People are still being killed. I warned you. You stop this revolution and they will come to your houses and arrest you. I told you. I warned you. But you did not listen. Because you are black. This UG. You never listen. You never, once you start a revolution, you don't stop. If they come out on the streets to look for you, you go into the bushes. You start a guerrilla warfare. You never ever stop. Because once you stop, you are finished. I asked you a few days ago to go and watch the movie Kingdom of Heaven. Go and watch it. It was directed by one of the most legendary movie directors of all time. One of the most legendary, because I think he is in the bracket of Stanley Kubrick. Not all this nonsense you watch in Nollywood. Crap, garbage, that's what you watch. That is why I warned you. I warned you time and time again. Chukwukika is our shield, is our armor, is our God. That is why you bear his name. That is why you bear his name. I warned all of you. Leave this audacious nonsense, you will not listen. Leave it, you will not listen. You don't hear. Anytime you put on audacious, God is angry with you because you don't believe he can protect you. You put your faith in nonsense. You go outside and they kill you, they shoot at you and you die. They come out with the native doctors. Don't you know that? Don't you know that? You don't have brain. When the white man came to conquer Africa, did they have audacity with them? Despite all your native doctors and your Babalawo and your Dibias, did Oyibo not conquer you? Did white man that doesn't know any Dibia, did they not conquer you? Ndiara, you're doing audacity. And once you do it, you lose your senses. A combination of factors because you people are in this COG, you don't want to reason. You don't want to reason. Every day we come here, we pray. We ask God for mercy. You trust God and then you trust what one idiot is concocting in the village in the name of audacity and protection, charms and amulets. Are you not foolish? You people want to destroy the work that God is doing in our lives with your stupidity and your superstitious idiocy. Let me catch any idiot again talking about all this work. Idiots everywhere. Fools everywhere. We are going to go to battle with Chukwukikabiama as our shield and our guide, our protector and our redeemer. And we'll win this very war. Do you understand that? Do you understand it? I don't know why black people lack discipline. I don't know why we do. Look at Fulani. They send shoe shiners to your village. Are they not the ones now fighting you in Obibo? Fighting you in Aba? The same people shining your shoes. They sent them nearly 40 years ago. They gave birth to children. Told them, we are here to conquer these people. Do all you can to help us conquer these people. They didn't ask for money or anything. If it is you now, give me money, pay my house rent, give me money to buy granite, give me money to buy banana. Oh, we have nothing in a revolution. Because you're not properly schooled. All the years you've been listening, some of you have not learned anything. Fulani have an agenda. To settle every Fulani, to see Nigeria as their home, and they see the oil in Biafra land as the resource they must get hold of, and they have done it in Iguacha, under Wije. They have done it. They are the ones now doing oil bunkering and doing refining. Go to Iguacha, and that's why they are there. All the oil service companies in Iguacha belong to Fulani Janjaweed. And some of you idiots are still blind because you're useless and hopeless. That was why I came to the conclusion that maybe God wants to teach us a lesson. The same way God taught the Jews a lesson by allowing Hitler to kill 6 million of them. I believe that something on that scale is about to happen. Because we are foolish. Very, very foolish. Extremely foolish. And idiotic. Black people lack discipline, cohesion, and a sense of direction. That is why Africa is poor. That is why a governor can go and take rice belonging to poor people, steal it and hide it in a warehouse, and a fellow black person, a journalist, will be writing in defense of the governor. Black people in this UG, go and watch The Kingdom of Heaven. Fast track it to the last part of the movie, where the character called Belion was tasked to defend Jerusalem against the Muslims. The director of that movie is the very legendary Ridley Scott. Some of you use the word legend very easily. Ridley Scott, Stanley Kubrick, I call them the old guard. These are the directors that anytime you see their name on a movie, you must go and watch it. You must go and watch it. You must go and watch it. Some of you don't follow art and culture. You don't know what art is. You don't even read. Some of you do not read. When you want to know people that you must watch their movies, Stanley Kubrick, Ridley Scott, Sam Peckinpah, that directed The Wild Bunch. Some of you, you don't watch movies and you learn nothing from them. You watch Nollywood, you see one idiot with Unzu, he will rub chalk around his eye, he'll be talking rubbish with Okob. Chicken, on a coin, you're watching garbage. You learn nothing from it. You become more stupid by watching it. Somebody will go and do a movie demonizing Shia Muslims for no reason because he has collected money, and you go and watch such movie. And you become more foolish in the process. I told you the other day the reason. Do you know why God loved white people, white Europeans? Because when they discovered the mercy of God through the gospel of the apostles, they embraced God. They built beautiful houses to God. They built abbeys and cathedrals. If you see it, the center of every town in England is a cathedral. But what you people are doing with the name of God is to steal tithe, offering, sowing of seed. And you want God to love you. The same thing with all these idiots doing audacious. You are a fool if you do audacious. You are no man. And you are bringing death to your fellow people if you don't know. Why don't you people ever learn? I asked you a simple question. When the white man came to conquer you, when Flora Shaw, a woman, named you Nigeria, did she come with native doctor or did she? Because Britain came and wanted to attack. Although they claimed they came for diplomacy, they wanted to attack the Oba of Benin. The Oba of Benin sent the army of Benin Kingdom. They killed the British. And then Britain sent an expeditionary force to Benin. Some of you do not read. But I pray that from today, some of you will start reading. It was called the British Expeditionary Force to Benin. Go and check it. That was when they captured the Oba of Benin. They killed many people. But in fairness, Benin Kingdom then was offering human sacrifice, which was an abomination before God. This expedition happened in 1897. And as they described it, it was called a punitive expedition under Admiral Sir Harry Rawson, because the Benin army laid an ambush and killed a party of British diplomats, they claim, under the command of General James Phillips. Only 2 of them survived. And they ran back to the port and reported to London. London sent an expeditionary force. This force came in. Some of you see all those Benin, the bronze in British Museum. Do you know how it got there? This morning I will tell you. It got there because when the expeditionary force arrived in 1897, they proceeded to Benin as the British were making their way coming to Benin city. The Oba of Benin saw the handwriting on the wall and felt that the gods were angry with him. In response to the relentless advance of the British, He started to sacrifice human beings. He started to slaughter people to appease the gods. The more the British got closer to Benin, the more black people died. People who could afford the British, so he was busy sacrificing them. Typical black, primitive African reasoning. Did all those sacrifices calling on the gods, did they stop the British from taking Benin? You doing Odeshi, stupid Odeshi. If you do Odeshi, it takes away that element of being careful from you. You are no longer careful. You are no longer afraid. It's like somebody drinking and driving, or you are under the influence of ganja and you're driving. You are no longer receptive to danger around you. You see a Janjaweed shooting his rifle, and you go and say, oh, I did Odeshi. You stand there and you're shot dead. I said to you, when you want to bring down a prison, I kept saying it. I was horrified that commanders on the ground were not carrying out these instructions. Use Molotov cocktail. Do not storm the prison head on. Flush them out with Molotov cocktails. Flush them out, and then you kill them. Some of you are doing Rambo. Maybe you are watching a movie. You stormed prisons, and needlessly lives were lost because you don't listen. Some of you do not listen. In this UG, you don't listen because you lack discipline. Despite all the sacrifices made by the Oba of Benin, it did not stop Britain from conquering the Benin Kingdom. They burnt down Benin City. They set it on fire. They burnt it to the ground. The same Britain today that Katrina Lang is in Abuja controlling all of you. Because you don't know history. You have no idea of what your history is. They burnt down Benin to the ground and stole all the things you see today in Benin, in British Museum, that we are begging them to bring back. You look at that bronze statue of Festac, you can see the face, very beautiful, because Benin Kingdom was blessed with craftsmen and artisans. Craftsmen that nobody can do what they did with bronze today. Nobody can do it. Go and check the quality of it. It's at the British Museum. Go and have a look. Britain took all of those things away. But none of you hate Britain. I am British. I don't hate them. They did what they had to do in a time of war. But what I'm trying to point to is that all the charms and sacrifices and audacy that Benin did, Britain that came with no audacy, but with better brain strategy, defeated them. There is another movie I would like you to watch. Some of you, I'm giving you an assignment today. Leave everything you are doing and go and watch the movie called Zulu. It's a movie about the Zulu. The Zulu nation in South Africa. The original one was done in 1964, and I think another one was done later. And it was who was the lead? I've forgotten who the lead star was in that very movie. I've forgotten. I think it was Michael Caine. Michael Caine starred in that movie, The Zulu. Go and watch it. And this is why white people always defeat black people. Go and watch the movie Zulu. In that movie, the British forces were outnumbered by over 200 to 1 man, 200 Zulu warriors to 1 British soldier. And they stormed the stronghold of that very battle. It was a very heavy battle. A very, very heavy battle. It was the battle of Rock's Drift. in South Africa. How do you think white people got to South Africa? This was what did it. It was Britain that took South Africa. And then they fought with the Dutch, people from Holland, in the Boer War. That is why until apartheid fell, if you look at the flag of South Africa, you will see the Union Jack, British flag is there. If you do not know, let me tell you. The Battle of Rocks Drift was the final battle to conquer the Zulu nation, fought by the British. But those guys are brave. Britain, oh my God. Oh my God, they are brave. They were outnumbered 200 to 1. They kept fighting. And the Zulus kept coming. The Zulus were great warriors. They were fighting with bows and arrows. The British had muskets, they had guns. The Zulus did not have any gun. I want to tell you how foolish we are in Africa. And the British kept fighting. When they were outnumbered and surrounded, when there was a lull in the fighting, the Zulus went back to go and reinforce and was contemplating that they have died so much. But why is it that these people are not giving up? Because the British commander said to the surviving soldiers that they are not going to surrender. Because if you surrender, you will die. The same thing I warned you, once you're in a revolution, if you surrender, you are dead. That is why they are going house to house and picking people. That was why they even picked a woman that was going to buy bread and milk for the children. They brought her to the police station. People without conscience. And they locked her up. I warned you. Once you start, you don't stop. You never, if they overwhelm you on the streets, you go into the bushes. And that is what we are going to do. Right across the middle belt, the east and the west. Young people, if you want to secure your future, you must go into the bushes. If you don't, you are finished. They'll keep arresting you. Now listen. Do you know what the British commander said to the troops? He said to them, gentlemen, prepare to die like heroes. Prepare to die with honor. And they prepared. And they waited. Because of the fierceness of the battle and the determination of the British forces as rocks drift in KwaZulu-Natal, the Zulus became afraid and they withdrew. And that was how Britain conquered them. The survivors of this battle were not up to 12. Had the Zulus launched one more attack, they would have driven the British away. One more attack, but they became afraid. And they withdrew. And legend has it that only less than 12 British soldiers survived. And they ended up taking over the whole of South Africa and subjugating black people for hundreds of years. Now, do you understand that when you are in a freedom fighting, you need to develop mental toughness? Some days will be good. Some days will be bad. Sometimes you taste victory. Sometimes you taste defeat. But one thing you must have going for you is your determination to get that freedom for your people that you so badly crave for. Now, some of you may not understand this, but it is true. The same thing that the British did in KwaZulu-Natal in Africa, the Dutch tried to do in Japan. I want to tell you how other races think away from how we black people reason. The Dutch went to Japan, not knowing that Japan, I've already heard of what the British did in Macau, what they did in Hong Kong, how they took over parts of China. The imperial throne of Chrysanthemum, which is the royal family of Japan, they knew what lay in front of them. The Dutch went to Japan and said they have come to buy goods and say, you know, that's how they come to trade, like Royal Niger Company. We've come to trade. Let us exchange goods. And they said, and you know what Japanese asked the Dutch to give them in exchange for what the Dutch was taking from the Japanese? Japan said to the Dutch people, can we have one of those guns you have there? And the Dutch gave them a gun and took all they needed and said, oh, they are so primitive, they don't have guns, you know. Let us go and see what we can do. Sorry, Macau was taken over by the Portuguese. I do apologize. The Europeans, the same way they came to Africa, they flooded to the Far East as well to take land that doesn't belong to them. In Africa, we capitulated. In the Far East, they fought. That is the difference. Places like India, which is more or less Asia Minor, they call them, they did not put up much effort. India fought. Tipu Sultan fought. That was the brave man. Tipu Sultan, go and look for him. That was the man that said, I'd rather die on my 2 legs than to, I would rather live for a day on my 2 legs than to live for 1,000 years on my knees. When the British besieged him to kill him, and because he was a very brave warrior, when the British defeated him in India, they respected and kept the family safe because Britain said, we respect brave people. And they were very brave. Tipu Sultan, go and check it. You know, we are well read, we are well versed. Before, you cannot do this type of job we are doing if you don't study very well, if you don't know what you're doing. As I was saying, the Portuguese were in Macau, in China. The British had taken over Hong Kong. They were planning to. There was war raging. Europeans were trying to carve out the whole of Asia for themselves. Japan said to Dutch, to Holland, to Dutch sailors, they always come with ship initially. Please, can we have one of those guns? The Dutch went back and said, hey, let us launch an expeditionary force to Japan. They have nothing. Because the Emperor of Japan, in fact, Japanese people are very intelligent. They went back and they copied, they replicated the gun into thousands, into millions. They were waiting for the Dutch. When the Dutch came to land, or when they wanted to establish what is called a beachhead in Japan, in one of Japanese islands, when they looked up, they saw guns pointing at their faces. And they ran back. And Japan was never colonized by Europeans. But despite our years of dining or trading with Europeans, no African country, including the brave Zulu people, they are very brave. Zulu people, very, very brave. Despite the fact that we have been trading with Europeans, no African country managed to produce a gun to rival the machine guns that the British had, or that they brought with them, or the muskets that they had with them. And I want to shock all of you. Do you know that the same guns that the British brought with them, before Britain came, 300 years before Britain came, the Hausa people had such guns as well, manufactured in Katsina, in Gobe, and in Kanu, and also in Zaria. Are you aware of that? That was why when Flora Shaw, the girlfriend of Lugard, went to the north and saw a relic of the guns produced by indigenous Hausa people, she was shocked. She marveled. She couldn't believe it. Do you know that if Hausa people, if not for the influence of the Fulani and how Fulani people destroyed Hausa monarchies, they have monarchies, the Hausa people had the right equipment to fight the British, and Nigeria would not have been colonized by the British. Do you see the negative influence of Fulani on the lives of indigenous populations in Nigeria? Go and ask any historian that knows his or her onions. When Flora Shaw came in her book, she was writing for the Times. She published an article in the Times newspaper. And she said that the Hausa people, Hausa, not Fulani, Hausa people had an advanced civilization 300 years before a white man could manufacture a gun. Hausa people had it. The reason why Britain managed to overrun Hausa land so easily was because before the British came, there was a virus in the land, Fulani Janjaweedism, that neutralized the Hausa people to allow the British to take over. Hausa people were technologically advanced more than any other person in West Africa. Hausa, yes. Hausa people had muskets, they had guns before the British came. And the guns that the Hausa people manufactured were older than the ones that Britain came with. Flora Shaw, because her father was a general. The father of Flora Shaw was a general in the British Army. And she loved traveling. The family had a sense of adventure. Are you listening to me? Determination. It is not today that Fulani have sought. It's not today. I think that Satan created them to come to destroy people. That is just their job. Had Fulani not come and deceived ordinary Hausa people to turn against their own, which is what they always do. The same way they convinced Igbo governors to turn against their people, they convinced Ohanese. That's what they always do. I don't know how they managed to do it. I don't know. The same way they can go to Yoruba land and pick up somebody like Tinubu and convince him to become and make him the ruler of Yoruba people. I don't know how they do it. I don't know how Fulani does this. Not that they went to school. I don't know. I kept asking myself, how do they do it? I have no idea. You'll be in your house and they'll come, they'll get one or two people, they convince them, oh, you're going to serve us, and they say yes. Exactly what they did to Hausa people. Because of them, the British came. And maybe Britain realized it and said, if not for this Janjaweed from the foothills of the Futajalon, we would have found things very difficult with Hausa people. And maybe that was why they gave them the rulership of the zoo. What am I trying to say? Is that in a revolution, your brains must be open at all times, receptive to new ways of thinking and new technology. If we had used the Molotov cocktails, as we said, we would have stopped them. I said, use nails, pour it on the road in advance, almost 2 weeks ago. And you're calling me in the middle of the night, oh, they're coming through Enugu, and I told you what to do, and you couldn't do it. I said, place nails on the floor, small, tiny nails on the floor. Any vehicle that has tire on it will be grounded. You couldn't listen. Your mind was on palliative, rice and the cartons of Indomie. You forgot the battle in front of you, that you are fighting for your future and the future of your children. Now this battle has gone to the diaspora. I remember what my mom told me. There is a diaspora that will save everybody. My mother told me that. This battle has gone to the diaspora, and you're going to see how we'll treat these politicians when we see them. You'll be shocked what we're going to do to them. Because people in Nigeria, you're too hungry to fight a revolution. I told you before that Che Guevara, the celebrated, I think he's the world's most celebrated revolutionary. He came to Congo to fight. He got to Congo and he said to Congolese people, let us go into the bushes and fight. One said, no, my maize is there. I want to eat. Let me harvest my maize. The other one said, I have okra. I want to go and get my okra. The other one said, oh, let me go and get pepper. He left them and went back to America, to South America, and said, these people are not serious. And then he made that famous comment that an African man puts the needs of the stomach way and above the need for his freedom. Che Guevara, the most celebrated revolutionary in the world, he knew black people. He knew African people. Why was it that only the black race was enslaved and taken to the Americas to work as farm animals? Because we have no honor and dignity. Instead of a Japanese man to become a slave, he would rather kill himself. And funny enough, that is how we Biafrans used to behave. I have said this numerous and countless times. For those of you that have not read the book, Roots, go and read it. Read it, please. Some of you don't read. You just watch movie and stay on social media. You don't read books. Go and read Roots. I think it was written by Harvey, isn't it? What's the name of the author of Roots again? That very beautiful. Or you go and watch the movie. Maybe it's better for you. Go and watch the series called, I think it's either on Netflix and all one of those places. Go and watch it. It's called Roots. Go and watch Roots. If you watch it, you will feel sorry for yourself. But there is a place of pride in that very book. There is a place in that very book where it's actually described who we are as a people. Alex Haley, that's the name of the author is Alex Haley. I read it as a 16-year-old. I read Roots when I was 16 years old. I was waiting to get into the university. That was when I read it. As a 16-year-old. Roots. Alex Haley. In that book, in Alex Haley's books, that was one of the most influential books in my life. Because inside that book, I read that some people were taking it from around Onitsha, from around Obaru. You know Obaru. The white people, the British came, slave catchers, and caught the man and the family. And a few of them from Obaru. They went along Orimiri Obaru, not River Niger. The real name is Orimiri Obaru. They took them all the way to the Atlantic Ocean as slaves. Of course, they stopped briefly in Ijoland. They took them to the Americas. They found themselves in Georgia, in America. They found themselves in a place called Savannah. I have been there myself. I fetched water from there. They took them to Savannah in Georgia, the creeks of Savannah. And in that very place, they don't speak English. They were doing sign language. The man asked them, the white man said to him that he should go with another man, that they are going to serve them. And the man from Obaru is from Obaru. The man said that he spoke in Igbo language. Where we come from, Ebani Sibia. Na madana yefe madibia. In Igbo language. You know, those slave raiders in those days, they understood the language. That is why they can go and raid a place very easily. These people with their chains from Obaru in Anambra State, finding themselves in Savannah, in Georgia, the state of Georgia in America. It's from Atlanta to Savannah is 5 hours drive. I've been there. We drove for 5 hours to get there. 5 hours going, 5 hours back, 10 hours. The man said, instead of me to serve a fellow human being as a farm animal, we are better off dead. And they walked into the water and they drowned. And the white Americans were amazed and they asked them, where did these people come from? They said they are Igbo people. Do you understand it? That book was an inspiration. That book told me about who I am. Alex Haley's roots. That there are men of honor. Rather than become a slave, used like a farm animal, when I give birth to children, you sell them and I'll start crying for equality. I would rather die, because if I do it, you will have nobody else to sell. That is who we are. But today we have forgotten all of that. We don't even know who we are anymore, do we? Janjaweed will come and tell us what to do in our land and we do it. They came to Osowa and killed people. Nobody said anything. They went to Nimbo. In Enugu was a kill people, nobody said anything about it. The army was not mobilized. But Biafrans came out on the streets to protest. And rightfully so. And the army, the same army of Fulani people that did not go to Nimbo to save Nimbo people, now came out on the streets of Enugu to kill people. And all of you are pretending everything is normal. You're pretending all is well. Do you see how you deceive yourselves? Do you see how you deceive yourselves? May Elohim have mercy on all of you. If you want to do a revolution, you must be resolute, determined, and strong mentally. If you are not, then don't start. And I'm sure that the Nigerian youths are re-strategizing and reorganizing, and the next revolution, there will be no mercy. Have you not seen that we outnumber them? That when we came and took over the streets, there was no police and there was no army. Once you went back into your houses, they now reinforced. But before they reinforced, they did something that they always do very well. They use propaganda and lies. And some of you are very weak. There are very weak men. Very, very weak. They are not resilient enough to resist what they offer them. They went to Lagos and Abuja. They said, hey, this day newspaper. Come, my friend, how much you need? We said, Oga, you know, my two daughters they're studying in Cyprus. That is, have not paid their fees. Don't worry, come. Come, Ali, give him a check there. They give him a check of maybe 20 million. And he will go to this day newspaper and say, the army has denied being at the scene of the shooting. The army said they did not kill anybody. And hoodlums and vandals have attacked a palliative warehouse. These hoodlums, what they're doing in this country, they want to divide our country. He has collected his own share. He's now talking like a compromised idiot. And they succeeded. And they put pressure on all of you. They lie, they cheat, they deceive. Now you've gone back to your houses, they've come out on the streets again. Do you see how it works in the zoo? Next time, if you are not prepared for this battle, please do not come out. Do not come out. That was why Asorok, the mask wearer, or should I say, Fulani Cabal, that was why they gathered together and said, Buhari to Nigerians, be wary of divisive actions and utterances. They're talking about us, of course. They went to a meeting. I have the minutes of the meeting. They said that the greatest threat to Nigeria's existence is IPOB. We must demonize them. Goodluck Jonathan left the meeting and called Wike, who is loyal to him, and said, do something in Iguacha, please do something. All the ex-heads of state, go and read their statement. They resolved that IPOB is the greatest threat that Nigeria is facing. Do you understand? Be wary of divisive actions is IPOB and utterances. They got a few cowardly ethnic idiots from Igbo land and Yoruba land. They ganged up. They brought race in, they brought ethnicity into it. Despite the fact that all of you were there looking koro as DSS thugs were attacking protesters, you did nothing. They used BRT buses to carry protesters, to carry hoodlums from Mushi to protest grounds to kill protesters. Police were watching. The same police you trust, the same army you trust. Black people, you people have a mental problem. That is why they brought out everybody. It's IPOB's fault. IPOB did it. You know, Igbo people, they are very weak. You see an Igbo man now shouting, I'm with you, I'm with you, I'm with you. Once the enemy propaganda starts to filter through, if you look back, you can no longer see them. Because mentally, they are not strong. Some people have started writing, oh, you should have calmed down. If we had not participated in the protest, they will say, you did nothing. When we needed support, you didn't give any. Now we have given support. They say, oh, because we knew you don't have the brain to last in this solution for only 4 weeks. People were shot at Lekki, and after a while, everybody disappeared. People should have kept coming. Go and bring your own guns in your houses, double barrel and everything, as we did against the thugs. Do the same thing against the army. We ring the whole places with CCTV cameras, broadcasting live to the whole world, so you will see them when they are coming. They weren't able to do it. Everybody went home, and they said, "Oh, go, we will listen to you. Go, we will listen to you." Some people called and said, "Oh, please, our life is in danger. Next time, tell me your life is in danger in Kanu or Kaduna because of what we are doing." You see what I will say to you. And they disappeared. But I am very, very confident. You see those people on the streets with now their bags of rice and dindomi from palliative warehouses. They are going to feed very well for the next few days, and they're now going to come out in force. And when they come out now, let me tell you what your problem is. The greatest problem you have in Nigeria is the politician from your village. Not even outsiders. The one from your village is more dangerous. They're the ones who are going to calm you down. "Oh, don't do this now. Oh, don't do that now. Oh, don't do this. Oh, remember, it's our land. Remember, we have no infrastructure. It's only the field." And I asked them, "Is the police station at Ekusigo an asset?" And they couldn't answer. 200 million people being treated like idiots. You have journalists working for politicians, all of them. Newspapers that should be writing and saying the truth, because they threatened Channels TV, AIT, and Arise with fine in a democracy. All of you were there looking, and they threatened with a fine. Everybody developed cold feet. Because you are black people. Or should I say the world is heading into a very dangerous place at the moment. I'm telling you the truth. We are going to rise up again and we're going to fight, and this time the fight is going to be more strategic. They don't want you to protest on the streets, then you protest in the bushes. That is the only language you understand. Of course, some of you, the same way you were looking for bags of rice, some of you will come out and start asking for amnesty. The Avengers came very, very close to achieving restructuring. They called them and gave some people money. And as they were going back home, their snipers were taking them out one after the other. They give you money now in Asaba at Ifan Okowa's office. They give you a bundle of money, euros. That was what they were sharing then. They give you a sack of euros, and on your way back to the creek, they wait for you on the road, and their snipers will take them out one after the other. That was how they killed the Avengers. That is why you no longer have the Avengers. They were killing their top officers one after the other. They came down to the creeks and arrested everybody and took them to Abuja. They're still there till today. Some of them, if you don't know, in DSS custody. That is how they do things in Nigeria. So you need to be very, very tough mentally to resist them, because everybody is in on it. Your so-called ex-president wants his allowance to continue. They buy him Mercedes-Benz Maybach every 2 years. They want to answer, because if you divide Nigeria, that means Jonathan can no longer have clout now to travel about and say the ex-president of Nigeria, or Obasanjo for that matter, because that country no longer exists. Can you imagine somebody coming out and saying the ex-president of Soviet Union? Who will listen to you? Or the ex-president of Yugoslavia? Who will listen to you? That's what they're doing. The worst enemy you have is that politician in your village. And next time, we'll get it right. I can assure you, we'll get it right. And on that note, we are going to open our lines and to see if 1 or 2 people can call, that we may take your calls this very morning. Tell us what is happening where you are. Tell us. You can deceive other people, you cannot deceive us. Anywhere I go to and you ask me, I am going to tell you the facts. The facts are that the protest was going on peacefully until they brought in their thugs and turned it violent. Have you seen how no newspaper is talking about the thugs brought by politicians and by DSS? No, they won't talk about it. It turned violent. Who made it to turn violent? Politicians. They started blaming ethnicity. You're an Igbo man, you're in Lagos. You're from you're Efik man, you're in Lagos. They brought in tribe and ethnicity into a revolution. Who did it? Politicians. Oh dear. Let us open the lines and take a few calls, please. We open the lines and we take a few calls. Once again, once I accept your request, now you can call. If I have accepted some of you that have sent a request this morning, the number is +44 77 61 82 5346. Please, if you've sent a request, try and check your phone again. I have accepted some of you, and now you may call. Once I accept you, you call, as this very person has now done. The caller on the line, can you hear me?
Hello. Sir, my name is Ifeanyi Chukwu, calling from Abasa.
What is happening today? Ifeanyi Chukwu, what is happening in Aba?
Well, sir, from the look of things, the people appear that we are
re-strategizing.
We are coming up.
Yes.
Re-strategizing, sir.
Yes.
Because I know our men, we are listening to you, and all your advice, we are looking into it and seeing a way to push forward.
Thank you very much.
I want to commend you. In fact, I'm one of the people you're teaching has at least I have grown mentally. My reason has changed whenever I listen to you. So I say, put more effort. Do not be discouraged, sir. We are with you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. You see, thank you, my dear brother. Let me tell you one thing about Nigeria and Nigerians that is why I hate Nigeria. I'm from Nigeria, because you people are hypocrites. You people, excuse me, are gossipers. You people are cowards. Cowards. Cowards you are. Let me take this call, and then I will go and tell you what I'm saying here. Oh dear. The caller on the line, can you hear me? The caller on the line, can you listen to your phone and not your listening device, not your radio? Listen to me. Can you hear my voice? Can you hear me? This UG, black people. Unbelievable. I picked his call and he was busy waiting. I'm saying hello on the phone, but he wants the hello to come through the radio before he can now reply. This UG. The caller on the line, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, man.
Raise your voice or you muffle your phone. You're sounding like if you're running away from the police. Is everything okay where you are? Your voice sounds muffled. No, it's not very clear. It is not, because this is signal. Signal is clean and clear. When I cannot hear you, it distresses me. I don't like that. Another caller is on the line. This caller, can you hear me?
Yes, good morning, sir.
Good morning. That's better. That's how signal sounds.
I hear you.
Go ahead, please. Your name and where you are.
I'm calling from Abasa.
Yeah, go ahead.
Sir, I want to call you off air after this. Now, I have a very important information to give to you.
Okay, no problem. You call me after this.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
Okay, sir.
Thank you, my dear brother. In everywhere in Iguacha that they call River State, Wike is giving money to families of of soldiers and police. In Lagos, so, where this whole thing started, or should I say, where it gained traction and momentum, Sanwo-Olu is giving scholarship to the children of policemen, the same policemen that caused the brutality that led to the protest. He is not giving scholarship to the families of those shot at Lekki. They are not giving compensation or paying for the fees of the families of those who were killed by the police. They are giving scholarship to those that actually did the killings. Very, very sad indeed. Very, very sad indeed. This is your one Nigeria. Fulani youths did not protest, but they knew the road to palliatives discovered by those in the south who are protesting. That is one Nigeria for you. Exactly the history, or should I say, the goings on in the country that some of you call your home. Disgraceful. Ndubisi, can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm hearing you, sir. Good morning, sir.
Good morning to you. Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Iguacha.
Iguacha, go ahead. What is happening there? Has Mike come again today with his Janjaweed?
No, sir, no, sir. I called for the number you gave for the military men.
You don't have it?
On behalf of the number, no, they are not picking the call.
They will pick. Oh, it depends. Because the calls are too much sometimes. We are seeking to. We are looking to open up. Listen to me. Listen, please. We are looking to open up more lines today. So many more calls will be taken. There are many people that want to leave the army, the air force, the navy, and the police. Many of them, and we have absorbed many of them already. But everybody keeps saying, "Don't say everything on the air." It's not everything we're going to say on the air. But the second phase of this revolution, the whole world will hear about it. Don't worry about it. People are now leaving the army in their droves, and they are joining young and brave Nigerian youths to try and make sure that that new society they are fighting for comes into existence. Many more lines will be open today. NBC, thank you very much for calling. Thank you very, very much. Thank you. If I accept you, then you call. I accept you, then you can call. You can call. I believe this is a regular update. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? No, they cannot hear me. They cannot hear me. They are not there. Once I accept, then you call. If I accept you, you call. The caller on Signal, can you hear me? Lisioji Black is listening. After hearing me say that it is not good to wait for my voice to come through your listening device, the next 3 persons that called is doing this exactly the same thing. Black people in this UG, they never listen. Black. The caller on the line, can you hear me?
Hello?
Yes, please. Morning. Your first name and where you're calling from.
My name is Williams.
And where are you calling from? Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Abba.
From where? I can't hear you. From where?
Abba.
From Abba. Go ahead. We are listening. Go ahead.
Yeah. Sir, I called to thank you for the work you are doing for us this morning. And moreover,
go ahead. No, we can't hear you. I don't know what is going on, but the line is okay. We've spoken to a few people. The caller on the line, can you hear me? Please go ahead.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Loud and clear, sir. Good morning from here, sir.
Good morning to you.
My name is Pastor Jack from Lagos, sir.
Yes.
Although nothing much is happening, just like I said yesterday, that I don't actually want to divulge most of the information. People are actually strategizing that if they come out, they will not be able to quit. No police or army, you cannot see police or army on the road. Even though they are on the road, they don't put on their uniform. Everything in first person. That is just the real situation here. Nobody want to identify himself as a man because they don't know what the people had in mind. Because they shake it in Lagos, touch everybody, even though they can pretend. They are only making use of media to douse the tension, trying to demonize all the protesters by calling them hoodlums and all that. Whenever you tune your radio, that is the junk you hear from all the radio station and media houses. So that is what they do on a daily basis. Then in the night, they will run around and arrest innocent people and call them the suspected hoodlums. That is what they are doing so far. But it will surprise them when the people will be able to get their information anyway again. It will surprise them. That is so far the update from me. Yes, sir.
Thank you very much for that. People are going to rise up again, and this time around, no mercy. From today, I will no longer praise any politician because they are all the same. They are all the same. Anybody writing or inboxing me or writing on my wall in praise of a politician, you will be banned, you will be blocked. They are all the same. No more praise. If you hear me praise any politician again, please correct me immediately. I will not praise them again. The caller on the line, can you hear me?
Good morning.
Good morning to you. What is your name and where are you calling from? Your first name only.
Hello, my leader, are you hearing me?
Loud and clear. Go ahead.
Please, lower the volume of this. Yes, this is Nnamdi calling live from Sapele.
What is happening in Sapele now? What is happening there in Sapele?
Well, from Sapele is movements are going on, but we are still strategizing. However, I just want to speak on the issue of students, the role of students towards the struggle.
Yes.
Please, I noticed that your gospel, you tend to neglect so much the students in this struggle, because if we look very well at the ages of people in the country, we realize that the youth age fall among students. But it is very sad that students are not even aware of how the situation in the contraction is endangering their future. So please, I would love you to be please intensifying effort, because I read about something like the Soweto uprising, which was done by even just merely secondary school students.
Yes. No, we are losing, but I understand what you're saying, Nnamdi. I understand what you're saying. The thing about it is that if there is an uprising now, let's say in Ibadan, after about, say, 1 day or two, people will start saying, I see one Igbo man there. He'll be like saying, Igbos, they do amo. But in South Africa, when there was uprising in Soweto, you did not hear people say it is the Xhosas that are doing it or the Zulus that are doing it, only in Nigeria. That was the perfect thing that Britain planted into your skull to keep dividing you. But I have heard you, my dear brother, and I will intensify every effort. I will intensify every effort in order to make sure that the students come out next time. And that time, when we do it, we are going to win. I have a caller on the... I don't know how they got... You people are dangerous. So how did you people get this other... my private signal line again? But we use it anyway. What is your name and where are you calling from?
My name is Ushabem Fodike. I'm calling from Indonesia.
Oh, Fodike from Indonesia. Please go ahead.
Yes. So, my leader, I congratulate. I pray for you every day and for God to strengthen you more. But I just want to chip on something. No, our people, they have a lot of challenges.
Yes.
They have power challenges and also fear challenges, because once you are not out of Nigeria for once, travel out of Nigeria for once, you are not getting anything they are saying right. So all the...
So hold on. So what you're saying is that they have not broadened their horizon. So for them to absorb and analyze information is very difficult because they've been in one place all their lives.
It's very, very difficult. difficult. If you ask them, maybe stay inside the bush and defend yourself, they'll complain about it, they complain about hunger, they complain about all these things, but they don't, because they don't know how it functions. They don't understand it. Not at all. They don't understand it. So I guess by now, this Mekofo house will be burned down, and Ojus Okalu, and that is the one that put Buhari into power. By now, it should be burned down. We need to take this thing serious, because our people back home, these people they are because most of the times, because they are very scared. Honestly, they are very scared. Once they are hearing your voice, now they have liver. After all this program and everything ends, they're like, how to go. So please, my leader, I think every state needs to take care of their politics. Their politicians.
For everybody, take care of your own politicians. That's what we're going to do. So nobody's going to accuse you. You live in Igbo and you come here, you live there, and you go, these tribal idiots, tribalistic idiots. That is what they do. Fools everywhere. But we are going to stop them. Of course they know. The young people are, sometimes it's called taking stock. Because if it is only Biafran youths who are doing it as part of the Nigerian youths, then we know what to do. But you are taking everybody along with you. We want to take the Middle Belt and the West along, everybody along at the same time. So it becomes they've not done it before. We are hardened in this. We've been doing it from day one. So we are hardened. They've only just started. They shot at them at Lake, and everybody ran away. That's how it is in the zoo. They killed us at National High School, Aba. We came out. They killed us at Tompo. We came out. We went for Trump rally. They killed us. We're still not coming out. We are hardened. The same thing with the Shia. What I was hoping was that the Shia could have risen up in the north as well to complement what was going on, but they couldn't do it because, of course, the Fulani Janjaweed is on top of them every blessed day. The caller on the line, can you hear me?
Hello, good morning, my able director.
Good morning to you, my dear brother. Please, your first name only and where you're calling from.
Okay, my name is Mbaibi.
And where are you calling from?
My name is Mbaibi.
And where are you calling from?
Hello, my director.
I can hear you. Mbaibi, where are you calling from? Where are you calling from?
Okay, I'm calling from Angola.
Angola, go ahead.
Okay, there are some certain things that make me, sometimes I became more passive about, you understand, concerning the how, not because I'm against the way you talk to these people, but there are some people that don't have that power or capacity as you thought. Like I see Nyanwodo as nobody, that's a Igbo group or what they used to call it. I see it as something that is inferior, you understand? But there are many people in Igbo land which are the people that we're supposed to be tackling. You understand? This like somebody like Atoeze, for example, you understand? Those are the problem we have. For instance, the other interview, he said that it's outside it's full of new people that made him what he is. You understand? But this Nyanwodo and all those things, they are just like a puppet on a string. You understand? They control them. But the main problem we are having is these cabals, you understand, in our communities, like Atoeze and all those of them, you understand. But I don't see that Nyanwodo, let's just ignore him. You understand? He's just a puppet on a string. So he just do as they pleases. You understand? So he didn't say anything of his own because he know that there is something you said the other day that Igbo group, or what did they call it? This group of Igbos, you understand, which is the head. You said that it's outside people that is these Fulani people that form that group. You understand? So you cannot form something. For instance, Nigeria was formed by British, and they put Fulani people in charge of it. So Fulani will do everything possible to please the British. You understand? To do the mind of the Britons. So that is the same thing that is happening. Nyanwodo is just like a puppet placed in that position. You understand? So you don't expect him to do much because he's nobody. It's just a local organization. which I know that IPOB is more than. How many people are in this what they call it as a neighbor, what or social group or what they to call it?
Or Hanese Social-Cultural Association.
So I don't think that they have the capacity, the impetus, you understand, to do as you think, you understand, because this is just a group they formed within the cabals. You understand?
I do.
So if you are talking about them, they are not the problem we have. The problem we have is this prominent man. Nemo is not a prominent. He's not a prominent guy. You understand? He live. I don't know. I was thinking maybe he live in America and come back. He didn't know even president. If he going to president, he will be happier. I meet the president. I have no. He just want to be famous, nothing more. You understand? That is just a group. Which I know that IPOB is more than this group.
They are not. They are nothing. IPOB is stronger than the zoo. Talk less of all these mushroom idiotic groups.
Let's ignore these people. Let's tackle the main people. Because since you are talking, you have not talked about Atese. You have not talking about what they call Gene Wood or what is the one that betrayed
Ekweme
during the campaign.
He betrayed Ekweme.
That spoke outside during the interview, you understand? During the campaign of Ojukwu Award. So we have to tackle those people. Those people are the prominent men. You understand?
Yes.
All the social, cultural group, all these things, they are nothing. That is why you will see somebody say that youth Igbo leader.
Oh, your line is breaking up. Your line is breaking up. I have an appointment this very morning, and somebody wrote something very interesting, which is true actually. You know that the police threatened to withdraw their protection, or the protection they give to these governors, and in this place they invited the army to come in instead. How many? Somebody's telling me there's 5 soldiers on my street terrorizing people. People are running. Only 5 people. Only 5. Only 5. Oh dear. Anyway, we have come to the end of our program this very morning. I have an interview in the evening, so we'll not be coming this evening. We shall be back again tomorrow morning. But this evening, I have an interview starting, I think it's 8 p.m. I am sure it will be advertised. And I'm looking forward to my interviewer asking me very serious and difficult questions so that people may be able to understand. I want people to ask me difficult questions today. Let me take this last call, please. Let me take it. I want to take this call. The caller on the line, can you hear me?
Good morning, sir. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu.
Good morning to you, my dear brother.
My name is Bara, and I am calling you in the heart of Yenagua, Bayelsa State.
Yes, go ahead. They said that Bayelsa is not Biafra. Is that true?
As our first story, I tell you that I am a Nembe man. I know how come Biafra came. I know where the name originated from, and I am parcel of it. I am a Biafran by birth, spiritual, physical, and otherwise.
Do other people feel the same way you do in Bayelsa? That's what I want to know. Or are there people still grumbling and complaining that they want to Fulani more than they want their own flesh and blood? I want to know. Tell me.
Mazi, it's so disgracing, so disgusting that some few ones who are on the table of the Fulanis.
Oh, okay.
They are not Biafra.
So there are very few, not the majority. Is it the majority?
No, not majority. Groups.
Okay.
Groups just.
Okay.
Non-governmental feeling that they are not Biafrans because they eat from the Janjaweed masters they have. Mazi, I'm very, very pleased to talk to you this morning. I am an IPOB member, not just an IPOB member, I am a volunteer.
Wonderful.
I'm not just a volunteer. The name you called me some few days, Charles Humphrey, it's me. I called you this morning to give you full assurance as a bishop here, I'm working very hard and very slow because I came to understand your way of preaching this gospel is the best way. And I came to understand that my way, working for the coming of Biafra, is the best way I think I should use. It's the best way I'm using. So with this opportunity talking to you today, the whole world is listening to me right now. I will talk to you that the whole 8 local government areas in Bayelsa State are fully aware of what you're doing. But though I know most of them are cowards, they can't come out and talk the way I'm talking right now with you on air.
Yes.
Something came up, and I will tell you this, and the whole world is listening. Even those that know me facially, as soon as I come out from the house now, they'll tell me you called, I heard your voice. Sir, never you lose confidence on Bayelsa State. And anything you need to do, please, you can get to the state coordinator and get to whosoever to get to me, because they know how to get to me. We are going to do whatever it takes. It's not all about a strong man or no strong man. I am a youth. I am a youth, and I know how long I've stayed in this country, this so-called zoo. I came to see that I am living in a zoo. I understand more when you start telling us the gospel about the zoo. And as a Biafran, I woke up and I took the bull by the horn. I am telling you this day, more of the brothers in the creek are fully aware, and they are just waiting for a go. I mean, it's a go, just a go. And as an IPOB member of this state, I'm giving you full confidence that whatsoever group that feels is not a Biafran, we will go to them and we see them just like you're doing, dialoguing. Yes. I don't want to put pressure on anybody, but if you come with pressure, we are fully standing by waiting for those pressures to come. Sir, this morning, I am very, very happy to talk to you this morning. As
I'm humbled.
Remember, indigenous person of Biafra, I give you my both hands and my both legs, my skull, every part of me, the last blood in me, that Biafra is here already. And thank you for the good works you're doing. Biafra is Bayelsa. Bayelsa is Biafra. The whole of the southeast belongs to Biafra. So, please don't relent.
Thank you.
Pray good work. I pray God give each and everybody who believe in Biafra the strength to continue. I pray for the Zoo youths, the Nigerian youths, to forget whatever, whatever mindset they want to create on them. Let them just focus on what they are doing. I know these few days you've not been hearing protests or clean up here in Bayelsa. Yes. What I mean, yes, is this. I need to do the things the way the things are need to be done. I am an indigenous person of Biafra, and I know how to deal with these persons, and I'll continue doing it the best way I understand to do it. So a few brothers in the house, they always sell out. I want to tell those in Bayelsa State, if they sell out in Bayelsa State and as a IPOB member, see, get lost. Just get lost. It's a warning to those IPOB members in Bayelsa and those outside and even in diaspora. If you know you want to sell us out, prepare for the wrath of Mara. I'm coming. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. And well spoken. Thank you very, very much. And remain safe wherever you are. Remain very, very safe. Now that you have spoken, here's your hand and do to you. The 4 people who are hiding in his house. Ishmael may begin to work against you. That is what he does. He works for the Janjaweed. They want to Islamize our land. They failed before. They are now also going to fail. And on that note, I thank you all very much for listening this very morning. As I said, I have an interview this evening, and I hope the interview will be explosive. I expect to be asked difficult questions. I don't like going to interviews and I'm being asked soft questions. We want difficult, hard questions. I can give interviews, and whilst doing so, I will pull my ear and my nose and my everything that I have so you can say it. Unlike the idiot in Asorok. A dead man is ruling you from a grave in the desert of Saudi Arabia. And you call yourself an intelligent person. But we are Biafrans and we are doing all we can to impart the same level of resilience and knowledge and understanding in your average Nigerian youth. And I believe that in the coming days and weeks, you will see the result of all this hard work that we have put in. Young people said to me that they are re-strategizing all over Nigeria, and when next they come out, there will be no mercy. But as for going abroad, those abroad are even more angry than those at home. They can no longer go, these idiots can no longer travel abroad anymore. They are caged, and they will start dying very soon, one after the other, because they can no longer be able to access decent medical care. Once again, I thank all of you for listening this very morning. With all the love in my heart and appreciation for your determination and resilience, those of you who are still in this very effort to bring about our freedom. From me, from here, good morning.
Welcome to my channel. If this is your first time or first day of coming across my YouTube channel or seeing my face, you are highly welcome. Herzlich willkommen zu meinem Kanal. My name is Linda Chukwuezi. It comes as Nigerian. That red button that says subscribe, and you turn on the notification bell so that you'll be able to get information on the.
Bis zum nächsten Video und einen schönen Tag. Tschüss.
Tschüss. Bis man. Subscribe to Linda's TV show. What are you waiting for? Click on that red button that says subscribe. You turn on the notification bell so that you'll be getting more updates from me. Leave your comments down below and share this video with your friends, families, and colleagues until we meet again in my next video. Bye bye.